Hello and welcome to our second episode of the Cosy Austen Chat, Musings from the Midlands Morning Room. Our secretary Rebecca spoke to our current treasurer Jack in June about the history of the Midlands Branch and why it still plays a part in the Austen story 36 years later. Jack Barber has been a member of the Midlands Branch since its creation in 1990. I began by asking him why the branch was created in the first place.
Well, Gay King, who was a lecturer in English literature at Keele University, she's organised several events about Jane Austen's work and life as part of the university's worker education programme on Saturdays. And eventually she held several events in 1990 with a view for setting up a local branch of the society. I attended all of those in 1990, starting with the inaugural meeting in April.
Yeah.
We had a pilgrimage to Chawton in July, a meeting about her music in the September, and a birthday dinner in December in Lichfield. The inaugural meeting was supported by Mr. Tony Trollope and his wife, who's the honorary secretary of the National Society, and we had Maggie Lane and Dr. Stephen Parry as speakers at the event, so it was quite well sorted out.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It was partly to organise, obviously, the branch, and she sent a questionnaire, gave a questionnaire to us all to ask if we'd like to be part of a branch, and from the replies she got, we decided to start the society with 4 meetings each year, like we still have. I was invited to join the committee at the autumn meeting, perhaps as a sort of token male, but I provided huge support. And
that's all right. You've been there.
I met speakers from Stoke Station sometimes. Sometimes I had to leave a meeting halfway through, pick somebody up and bring them to the meet, but I'm quite happy to do that. And also with Dawn Thomas and some others in the autumn, we put on the performance of Lovers' Vows in the spring, and we had to rehearse that. I was one of the, for a meeting about
that sounds good.
Park. So that was my initial contribution.
No, absolutely. Well, we'll have to do a reenactment of that maybe at some point of Lovers' Vows. We'll see. But so you've been on the committee ever since then? Is that right?
Yes, I've been on the committee since the start, yes.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And because obviously you're treasurer at the minute, so did you have other roles, or you've always been treasurer, or?
No, I was just a member for a long time. I used to, like I say, do computer work and things like that, and just support, look after the projector once we had a projector, or anything technical. That was
you still do that.
Really.
I was going to say, you still help with that now, don't you? Sort of setting up microphones and projectors and things. So yeah, definitely. We've come a long way. I suppose the kind of technology and stuff has changed since 1990, but some things are still the same. So I know I was going through the archives the other day, and obviously everything was paper-based before we had emails and things like that. So it's quite interesting to see how things have developed over, the past 35 years. And do you have like a memorable society event or experience that you've had while you've been a member?
Yes. When I attended a national meeting in Chawton for the second time in the summer, they were bell ringers ringing the bells in the local church tower. And I'm a bell ringer anyway myself. And I thought, there's only ringing 5 bells, and they must have a peal of 6. So when they had a break, I went up the stairs to the tower and said, "Oh, hello." And they said, "Oh, you can come and help us pull the 6th bell." So I've rung the bells in Chawton. And it was a great thrill, because I thought, well, Jane must have heard these bells many times, and here I am ringing them. That was a great pleasure, that was.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, And the fact that you realised that, because I think most of us probably wouldn't have realised there was a sixth bell ringer needed. But that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I went to Chawton. Yeah, I went
Oh
in the
yes,
church.
you had to know bell ringing to you could if you're a bell ringer,
Realise.
you can think, oh, they're only ringing five bells.
No, it's good. So yeah, you've probably seen a lot of changes as well with Chawton House and how it's run, maybe, and the church and the surrounds and things, probably in that time as well, haven't you? Um, I only visited there a couple of years ago for the first time. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. Obviously, traveling down there can be quite, if you're based in the Midlands, it's good to have a local branch to go to so that you don't have to go, travel down to Winchester every time you want to visit a Jane Austen site. Um, so yeah, so it sounds like it was, obviously needed, and it was the first branch as well to be created, wasn't it? And obviously there are other branches now, so it's pretty amazing that it's still going. So, but yeah, and obviously we've got a connection with Jane Austen. Obviously stayed in the Midlands as well. She had connections with Stoneleigh Abbey and Hamstall Ridware. And you
Oh yeah,
sometimes, yeah, have you always, because you show when the Jasna members come over, or we had Jane Austen Mexico last year, and they came over, and you kind of show them around Hamstall Ridgeware and things, don't you? So have you done that? Has that been happening since 1990 as well,
yes.
or is that
For some reason, I was obviously found suitable to the company that
tours?
arranges the American visits. They send me an email saying when they're going to come,
Oh,
and
okay,
I turn up and
show them around.
welcome them and give them a talk.
Absolutely, yeah. I know we had our summer event last year at Hamstall Ridgeware, and you did some tours around the church. I remember that. Um, so yeah, you definitely know. We always come to you if we need any inside information on Jane Austen's connections to the Midlands. We always come to you to ask. If we need any information and things. But I'd never heard before I joined the Midlands branch. I didn't realise that Jane Austen had been near here. So that's quite something, really. I think it's probably the furthest north she ever travelled, I think. So yeah, that's quite something we have to make the most of, I think. But yeah, but just learning about, you know, Jane Austen and her times, and even just her writing, just to be able to do that with people in the local area who have the same interest. It's quite important, really, isn't it? So yeah, but you've probably seen a few changes, obviously, throughout that time, but you still enjoy being part of it. So that's good. Let me just see what else there was. So how do you think people have changed, like how they engage with the branch since it first began? Do you think? Because I feel like there was a lot more time. People had more time to kind of organise events and things maybe in the past. Whereas, you know, or there were more events, I think, as well. You used to do like coach trips and stuff to places. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Uh, the branch was first supported by Keele University as part of
Okay.
their workers' education programme. So we held our meetings at the university and they
Yeah.
publicised our events and helped us sustain membership and find new members. So that
Okay.
was great help.
Yeah,
Mrs.
definitely.
Thatcher's government sadly cut the funding for that
Oh no.
initially. So we had to find new premises and run ourselves. So
Yeah.
that
No,
was
absolutely.
quite
So did you
no, no, it's all right. We managed
found a
that.
place? So is that when you went? So did you move? Because obviously we meet by Stone Village Hall now. So was that after we finished at Keele? Is that right? Or was
Yes.
there anywhere in
We
between?
didn't meet in Lichfield for a while
Oh,
because,
okay.
but we found our membership was more based in Staffordshire and
Oh, I
Shropshire and up
see.
here. So
Oh, okay.
uh,
So you moved somewhere a
somewhere
bit closer.
in this part of the world was more suitable.
Oh, okay. That's good. Well, Stone's quite sort of central, isn't it, I suppose? But yeah, like you said, we have got a lot of Staffordshire residents off, uh, nearby. Yeah, we've got obviously our chair and our membership secretary from Shropshire. And then we have some from Derbyshire, I think, and Cheshire. So yeah, it's trying to find a central place for people to meet, isn't it? So we're quite lucky that it's on the doorstep, really. But yeah, and then did you always have? So you've always had the four events every year. So you've had the two speaker days and then a strawberry tea and a festive event. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Still trying to do that now. Obviously, it's going a bit online now, a little bit with, I think, post COVID, things have changed on the landscape really for a lot of societies. Because how did you manage that? Did you still have online meetings during COVID?
Yeah, well,
Pandemic?
that was the problem, yes, is
Yeah,
COVID obviously presented problems, but we
yeah,
survived that. Well,
yeah, definitely. No, that's
that's
good.
when I became treasurer because
Oh,
Ian was
okay.
poorly and
Oh,
couldn't do it anymore.
oh,
I've
okay.
never
So you sort of
been a
stepped in.
treasurer, and I'm not very good at it,
Oh no,
so,
you're fine.
but I do try my best.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think treasurer role's quite a difficult one to fill sometimes, but
It
yeah, no,
is
it's
for
good.
me because I've never done it before.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, and obviously last year was the big anniversary because it was the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's birth. So we had well, we had our March speaker event in Stone, then we had a strawberry tea at Hamstall Ridware in the grounds of the church. We couldn't get to see the parsonage where she would have lived, but Staffordshire Archives came and brought the some different items that kind of related to her time in Staffordshire. So that was really interesting. And then in the September, we went to Buxton to the Crescent and we had a joint meeting with the Northern Branch. That was really good. And then we had our festive event at Lillishall. So we kind of covered Derbyshire, Staffordshire, and Shropshire last year. So, but yeah, it was definitely glad to be around. Can you remember what you did for the 200th anniversary of her birth? Obviously, the society wasn't around then, but
No, I can't. That would
no.
be 1990, 2010. No, I can't. Sorry, I
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember that.
Oh, it's fine. No, it's
No.
okay. Yeah. No, I know because some people have said there was like a commemorative cup that went out that you could purchase in whenever it was. It would have been 50 years ago last year, so it's 1975. There
I
was a
think they lived
commemorative.
in Stoneleigh about then, but I can't remember whether it
Okay.
was exactly on the 20th anniversary. Can't
Oh,
remember.
right. Okay. No, that's fine. So yeah, and obviously Stoneleigh Abbey. She was related to the Lees, wasn't she, of Stoneleigh Abbey? And so she stayed there for a while. And the bit where she was travelling in Staffordshire and Stoneleigh, that was between it before she moved into the cottage in Chawton, wasn't it? So she
Well, it
went to
was
stay.
after a father passed away,
Right.
and it was, I mean, the father, it was 1806 when she travelled to Staffordshire here.
Yeah.
She had been to this part of the world before,
Hmm.
but to Addlestrop in 1794 and 1796. So she had
Okay.
travelled to Addlestrop before, but it was the first time she'd got as far as Stoneleigh, and obviously came to Staffordshire as well.
Yeah. Okay. So is Addlestrop, was that relatives as well that were in Addlestrop? Is that what she was
Yes, I
from?
believe it was a mother's cousin who was the rector there, and
Okay.
she obviously the family liked to travel to visit relatives.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about that, don't we? In like Jane Austen novels, people always like traveling around and staying with each other's relatives. I suppose in those days, because it was such a, trying to move anywhere was quite a big thing, really, wasn't it? So you'd kind of go and stay with people for several weeks at a time, to kind of make it worth it. Um, yeah, I know that's pretty good. So yeah, I like learning about all this sort of things. So I wonder what she would have made of last year's celebrations. I don't know, but we'll never know. But yeah,
Might have been surprised,
but I
yes.
think she would have been. Yeah, definitely. So, but it's quite amazing how she's still so popular, like 200 plus years later, that people are still finding her for the first time as well. Um, do you have a favourite novel of hers, or
Oh, yes. I think I like Persuasion best of all, yes.
okay?
I think it's delicately done. I mean, I like all the novels.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I did a second degree in English literature,
Oh, right,
and
okay.
I studied the 19th century novel and its legacy. So
Oh, wow.
I had quite a bit of grounding in understand. And she invented the modern novel in effect, didn't she? Which is,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
beautiful what she did. You know,
And
that's
free, sort of
instead of
free and
being epistolary or
yeah,
sort of, things
free and
like
direct
that, she
speech.
actually
Yeah, no,
speaks for
absolutely.
themselves, and you can understand their inner working, which is wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people who may not necessarily have read Jane Austen themselves or may not know that much about her probably don't realise that the novels that they read now are probably come off the back of the way she wrote her novels. So yeah, that's quite interesting. So yeah, no, I like Persuasion. It's like about second chances, isn't it? Really, it's like they've obviously missed out the first time on getting married, and then he comes back, and fortunately the kind of stars were aligned at that point. Yeah, that was the first one I read actually, Persuasion, and then I think probably Pride and Prejudice. It's probably my favourite, but I'm not sure about Mansfield Park, but I think that's a bit
Well, I
a
like
lot of people.
Mansfield Park.
Oh, you do?
I,
Oh, okay.
I sympathise with
With Fanny Pride.
no, I
Yeah.
like yes, I will like it. Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, that's
I'm a
good.
great fan of Fanny. I think she survived well. Yes.
Yeah, she does, considering where she's come from. She sort of manages to survive. Yeah. No, absolutely. So it's been amazing to think what she would have written if she'd have lived along for longer.
Well, I was in a family with lots of big sisters, and I was
Uh,
always felt neglected. And well, oh,
oh
you're
dear.
a bloke, you haven't got any taste or talent, and
Oh
so
dear.
I will sympathise with Fanny. I think, yeah, I feel like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. You'd think they'd have you all reading, yeah, Jane Austen for all your big sisters, but yeah. Oh wow, okay. No, I had two brothers actually said the opposite. But yeah, we'd never read Jane Austen in the house. I think my first I came across it was Colin Firth, 1995, Pride and Prejudice. Um, so but I didn't really know who Jane Austen was at that point, but I think everybody, half the nation was watching that anyway at the time. So but yeah, it's very different now because now you can stream it all in one go, can't you? Back then you had to literally wait for the following week to find out what was going to happen next. So yeah, it was good.
When I give talks about her, I always to groups quite often, like you say, they've seen the television series, but they haven't
Mm,
read the books. And I say
yeah,
to them, look, please go and read the book because the humour in it and the
yeah,
subtlety is missed really in the television series. But when you read the books, she's a very funny author, and people don't
yeah.
realise that till they read the books carefully.
No, absolutely. Oh yeah, definitely. There's always things that don't make the final cut in the adaptations and things like that. So you kind of miss out on all of that. Um, but yeah, I think people maybe I don't know. Some people don't think they'd be able to read them or something like that. I'm not sure, but they are so relatable. You can just, even though they were written over 200 years ago, you can still understand them. And they talk about the same things we think about now. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yes.
Hmm.
Well, like you said about persuasion and second chance, I think she was writing that to, she wished she'd had a second chance. It worked out. I mean, she
Yeah,
various people she met, but didn't work out for her. So
I
I
know.
always think that's her writing what she really would have liked.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think she would have. Whereas now she could still, probably marry the love of her life and still write her books. But obviously in those days it was different. Um, so so do you want to tell us a bit more about any more connections? Did you say that Jane visited Lichfield? Is that right? When she was in the Midlands?
Yes, she did. Yes, obviously she changed coaches in Lichfield, but she'd always
Okay.
reputed to have gone shopping in Lichfield and liked some places because the sandwiches were cheaper than other places. So
Okay. So she shopped around.
she obviously, well, she was staying not far from Lichfield, so I think,
It was easy enough. Yeah.
her cousin would have arranged for her to go to Lichfield to see the shops.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then Dr. Johnson obviously lived in Lichfield.
Well,
He's
he
from
was one of
Lichfield.
her heroes, so yes, she would
Yeah,
probably want to go and see, the place
where he
where he
lived.
lived. So I'm sure she
Yeah,
spent a bit of
definitely.
time there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're hoping obviously from next year to go to because Lichfield's got the Erasmus Darwin House as well. So I think the plan is going forward is to have our like strawberry tea in Lichfield, and then it kind of
That's
gives
right,
people a
yeah.
chance to wander about, go visit the cathedral, which I'm sure Jane would have done as well, and just take in the sights. So we're looking forward to that. But yeah, you forget. She probably would have gone and maybe she bought some paper and writing paper and things in Lichfield. You never know. So, so what did you enjoy? So we had the Hamstall Ridgeware event last year. Was there anything in particular that stood out about that event that you really enjoyed, or
Well, it was nice to see so many people. It was a successful event. It was
yeah,
fully booked. And with all
yeah,
these people learning about her visit to Staffordshire, uh, and seeing cousin Edward Cooper's church and
hmm
things like that, and it really publicised the fact that she came to visit Staffordshire. It was reported in the local paper, so
yeah?
it bring it to a wider audience. I thought it was a very successful and happy event, and we had good weather as well.
We did have good weather. It's too almost too good. Yeah, no, it was a magical day. Like, because considering we'd started organizing it like the winter before when it was like dark nights and cold, and so you couldn't really
I
imagine what
know
it was
that's
going to be
right.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah, when we got there, and then we had a service in the church, and we actually sang one of the hymns that Edward Cooper had composed, I think. He was obviously Jane's cousin, who was the vicar at Hamstall Ridgeware. So that's why they came to live there. I think they lived there about 6 weeks. So we incorporated that in there. And then we had tours of the inside and the outside of the church. We had some Regency dancers. Emma did a talk. I think we had like two groups, didn't we, that we like rotated so that we could fit everybody in. Um, and yeah, it was just a really good day. And then obviously we had afternoon tea. So yeah, we didn't want it to end really, did we? I think it was really good. Um, so have you got what's your little known fact about that you might think Jane Austen fans wouldn't necessarily know about her time in the Midlands?
well, obviously, when she visited Stoneleigh Abbey, it provided with inspiration that we see in Northanger Abbey, because her mother's letter about it says she expected it to be like a ruin, and it was a very posh house. And in Northanger Abbey, the heroine, when she's visiting uh, Northanger Abbey, she expects the same. So obviously, Jane was
Yeah,
reflecting that.
based it on
And
that.
also, it's it seems to be Southerton in Mansfield Park when they visit Southerton.
Okay,
It's
right.
obvious from the description it's actually, you
It
know,
looks like the
it's
chapel.
in the Midlands. So
Okay,
we gave her inspiration of a
Yeah,
kind, and
absolutely.
so
Yeah, no,
the
that's really good.
Midlands figures in our life, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think yeah, because we always think it's like sort of based in sort of Hampshire and obviously most of it probably will have been, but yeah, she would have travelled further than that, and obviously she's got Derbyshire. I don't know if she would
Well,
have known about.
while she was travelling and staying with relatives, she was
Yeah,
relieved of household duties, so she probably had more time to make notes and think about things.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
obviously, when she was at home, she had certain domestic
Tasks.
duties, so it
Yeah,
gave her freedom, I would guess, when she was staying at these places to
yeah,
think about
definitely.
things and be inspired.
It gave her inspiration for characters as well in her books. So I think because is that right? Edward Cooper might have been Mr. Collins, is that right? Or it could be a
Yes,
mixture of
oh God,
different
yes,
people.
he was. I think he was a bit of a tedious, boring person from
Oh
his.
no,
He
oh dear.
produced his sermons, which she wanted, and he had invited her a couple of times previously to come and see him, and
Okay.
sort of said, "Oh yes, but we're busy."
Oh really? Oh, so she
So
tried her utmost to
it was
avoid
only
having
when
to
they were
stay there.
desperate and had nowhere to stay that they
Yeah, they
actually
had to.
came.
Oh dear. And did he have quite a few children as well? Did she self-help look after their children while she was there and things like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, if you ever do, if you are listening and you ever get the chance to go to Hamstall Ridgeware, there is a plaque on the wall, isn't there, in the church, which talks about Edward Cooper's time as parson there. The parsonage is still there, but it's a private residence now, isn't it? So you can't actually visit there. But the History Centre, we're having a display at Staffordshire History Centre this summer, and the archives, Staffordshire Archives, actually have the register that was at the church when Jane Austen stayed there. So there's probably christenings and different events that are in that register that she may have attended while she was there. So that's quite exciting. So we're going to put that'll be on display so people can come and have a look at that.
Well,
So
it
yeah.
was about 30 years ago. I took a picture of
Oh, okay.
the where
Register.
she stayed,
Oh,
and
okay.
my picture's been used by American author because they
Oh,
put a big gate up now because they don't like visitors,
people.
so you
Yeah.
can't take that picture anymore.
Oh, that's
So
good. It's
my
a good job.
picture is a very useful one.
Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
American author asked permission to use it, which I
Oh,
obviously
that's
gave
good.
the permission.
Yeah.
And I use it if I give a talk, but you can't take the picture anymore.
Oh, so it's a good job you got it when you did.
Yeah, well, I saved it, luckily, yes.
Or you might have to send that over to me, then I can put it in the display. Maybe. Maybe
Oh,
might be
yes,
quite
I
handy.
can let
Yeah, we
you
should do
obviously have
that.
a copy of it, yes.
Yeah.
As long as
Okay.
you credit me with
Oh
the
yeah.
image.
Yeah. I'll say our treasurer took the picture. Yeah, no, it should be good. Well, it's a bit. Well, I go on the 20th of July. I go to help put the display together, so then it should be available from the 21st of July for a couple of months.
Okay,
So
yeah. Oh, I'll
if you're
send
in,
you when we
yeah,
finish the talk, yes.
yeah. So if you're in Staffordshire and you fancy coming along, just pop into the History Centre. It's really nice in there, and there's lots of other things to look at in there as well. So once you've looked at our exhibition, you can have a look at some of the things as well. So it's all good. And then, so we've covered those. So how do you think the Midlands branch has contributed to the world of Jane Austen?
Well, we made her sort of the quality and interest in
Mm,
her works, to a wider audience.
yeah.
And, we've, Gay King used to give talks about her, and give talks about her. I
Hmm.
gave one last week to a group in Warwickshire, and I've got one
Okay.
booked for next Saturday in
Right.
Staffordshire. And as you know, I gave 14 talks
So,
last year. So
yes, it was very busy
I
last year.
think we do our bit for
Spreading the
publicising
word. Yeah,
what she does.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, yeah, because I think a lot of people really don't know that much about Jane Austen. But I feel like if they know there's like a Midlands connection, they might be more interested maybe in learning about her. But yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, ever since kind of like I've got involved with Jane Austen, just learning about the different people in her family that might inspired her, and just we're still learning new things, aren't we? And they're
Oh,
doing
we are,
another,
yes.
yeah, they're doing another archaeology.
We still don't know whether she actually uh, managed to visit Chatsworth or not, do we?
No, I'd like to think she'd, yeah, because I mean, obviously, Mr. Darcy's from Derbyshire, so you think that she might have been to Derbyshire if that's where she's decided to, um, you know, she would have maybe seen part of Derbyshire, so maybe she could have been to Chatsworth.
You have to
Um,
not forget that her cousin's mother-in-law in Staffordshire was Caroline Powys, she was a
okay,
great traveller, and she
yeah,
made careful notes. She's one of those uh, Georgian women who had plenty of time and money and travelled
all
everywhere.
right, okay,
And obviously, she probably met up with Jane, and she could have described the place to her or
yeah.
inspired her to go and visit it. We don't know which it is,
Oh,
so.
interesting. Oh,
It's
okay, so that's another thing that I didn't know. So I never heard that story before. So that's quite
All right. Oh,
significant.
his mother-in-law notes about her travels, and I've got the book. It's published.
Okay,
Somebody's published all her notes about her travels and her
oh,
descriptions of
nice.
these places.
Right,
So
okay. So she could have read
she
that. Was
probably
oh,
inspired Jane to want to travel a bit.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think if Jane had had the means and what have you, she probably would have done a lot more traveling and what have you than she had the chance to do. But there was probably plenty of inspiration already in and around where she lived. But yeah, um, so I know. Wonder what she would have written if she'd have still been, lived a bit longer. But So yeah, have you been watching any of the adaptations, or are you looking forward to the new adaptations that are coming out in the autumn?
Yes, we'll see
Yeah,
how they get on.
yeah. We watched the other Bennett sister. I thought that was quite good. Obviously,
Oh,
that's
yes,
not
of
a
course, yes, it was
enjoyed that.
interesting. It was nice to
Yeah,
see. It was well done, wasn't it? I think, and it fitted
yeah,
in
definitely.
with Pride and Prejudice
Yeah.
nicely.
Well, I always like learning about like what happened to the other characters, um, aside from the main story. Because I'm reading a detective novel at the minute where um what's the name? Harriet Smith is the detective. So it's set in Emma. It's set in the novel Emma, but Harriet's the main character. So Emma and all the other characters that we normally think of as the main ones in Emma are kind of like side characters. So it's quite interesting to see it from the other way around. So I'm quite
Yes.
enjoying that. So yeah, but yeah, it's amazing how many there's still new ways of looking at her novels even today. So yeah, no, it's great. So all right, thanks, Jack.
Okay.
So thank you.
That's lovely. Nice to talk
That's,
about all that. Yes.
yeah, definitely. I'll let you
And
know
I'll
when
send
this
you the
is.
picture of the rectory so
Oh yeah,
you
that'd
can
be
put it
great.
in your display.
Okay, brilliant. All right. I hope you enjoyed our discussion today, and thank you to Jack for giving his time to record this and in the work he has done and continues to do for the Midlands Branch. If you are in the Midlands region in the next few weeks, please come and see our History Centre display at the Staffordshire History Centre. The display opens next Tuesday, the 21st of July. Thank you for listening, and our next episode will be in the autumn. Bye for now.